Obviously, Al-Qaeda was the main reason that the Americans said they were going into Afghanistan and not the Taliban. Are you still of the view that Al-Qaeda is more of a myth than a reality? It's what you said last year. You also said you weren't even sure that they existed. Really?
Exactly, that's my view today as well.
That Al-Qaeda is a myth?
It is for me a myth. I have never had a report from any Afghan source on the Al-Qaeda or what they were doing. We don't see them. We cannot visualize them. For us, they don't exist. I've never had a report from our intelligence. I've never had a report from our people. I've never come across them.
Did they exist in September the 11th? On September the 11th, 2001, was Al-Qaeda operating in Afghanistan?
I have come across the Taliban. I've come across other groups. I've come across the people called, calling themselves different names, different outfits of extremists and terrorists. We have reports about them. I don't know if Al-Qaeda existed, and I don't know if they exist. For me, it's a myth. I have to feel tangible about it before I can say they are there. Well, reports say they are there, but I have no information.
Your allies in the US government, your allies in the US government, NATO forces on the ground in Afghanistan all said that they were there fighting Al-Qaeda fighters. When you say it's a myth, you've not seen any evidence, did they call you a conspiracy theorist? Some might say you sound like a conspiracy theorist.
Well, if saying that something does not exist does not mean a conspiracy. It's my judgment, it's my feeling. Maybe they are there, but I have not seen them, and I have not had a report about them, any report that would indicate that Al-Qaeda is operating in Afghanistan. And I've also been in conversation with various American officials. The last one that I had was last year, in which they told me that there are perhaps not even more than 30 to 35 individuals. So if that's the entire strength of an organization, for me, that's a myth.
So just to clarify before we move on, do you believe...
in Afghanistan.
Do you believe Osama bin Laden carried out the 9/11 attacks in New York and Washington, D.C. and plotted them from Afghanistan?
That is what I have heard from our Western friends. That's what the Western media says. There is no doubt that an operation was a terrorist operation was conducted in New York and in Washington. The tragedy of September 11 is a true one. It caused casualties to the American people, to civilians. We condemn it in the strongest possible words, but I can tell you for a fact that that operation was neither conducted from Afghanistan, nor were the Afghan people responsible for that.
You do believe, or you don't believe, that Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan were behind the 9/11 attacks, as is the view of the US government and other Western governments?
I neither believe nor disbelieve something that I don't know about.